Hi.
Hi, Ramona.
Hi. I'm just gonna come out right here
Come on out.
because I can sit that way. I've been
What's your kitty's name?
Hope and Faith. There's two of them,
Perfect.
but they will get out.
Are they kittens or just cats?
7 months. 7 months. Yeah, I got them. I got them a scheduled appointment on the 24th to get fixed down at the vet SOS.
Oh, perfect.
So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that before it gets too late.
Right.
They're brother and sister.
Oh,
So yeah, I really gotta. Yeah. I've got it. I took them down for the one checkup, so I'm out of breath.
So I'm not towering over you.
Yeah, I'm out of breath because they took out our mattress. My husband died a year ago, and it's just been really difficult. So Adult Protective Services have come on board somehow, and they sent out their guy who takes care of hoarding. So it was just the mattress, but
Oh, okay.
so now I'm putting down rugs, and that's why I'm out of breath.
Okay.
And also why I was explaining to Trina why I just got upset. Like I'm just really like
Yeah.
emotional today, and
It's growing.
yeah, and I'm the causation of it to some extent or to a lot of extent, because they see me sitting here and waiting for my services, and got it. Yeah, and they, like, I figured out how to get services, what I mean? Like I figured out, I try to explain it to them like it's the Alice in Wonderland door. It's really small, and you've got to be,
Right.
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 Try explaining bureaucracy to people.
So you're a bit of an ambassador out here.
Not willingly.
Not willingly. Okay.
Yeah,
A
but
de facto ambassador or default.
yeah, and I'm trying to explain to them, like, I have a good rapport with the gardeners, and I've actually made some headway explaining curtilage, because I know quite a bit about the law. And curtilage is the 3 or 4 feet you have around your house or your apartment that you can put your stuff, or or where the police can't invade, right? And so I'm explaining to the gardener. She loves it, but I'm explaining to these guys, and they're not so crazy about it. But I'm seeing some headway, like I'm literally seeing people try.
Okay.
Yeah. So, and then that's just started a whole other conversation. I'm just, like, what are we gonna do? How do we do what you're doing? And I'm like, I'm not even getting it done for me.
Well, that's our job, right?
Yeah.
So I'm guessing have you guys started outreaching them?
We have been talking to them. Some of these we just met today.
Right.
We gave a couple of our cards out. So
Perfect. So
Yeah.
maybe more of a conduit than an ambassador, right?
That's a electrical word there. I mean, yeah, they know about my litigious nature, and everyone is like, why don't you go to court? Why don't you go to court? And I'm like, no, because this is not how court works. Right. That's not, like, they saw me do it one time and they suddenly think it's all, and it's not. I don't even know what it is.
A lot of work for starters.
Yeah, and I have a the health issues, and I'm not. Okay, this house, if it was clean, I'd love to show it to you, okay? And I'm gonna send some pictures to Trina to pass around or something.
Okay.
But this very shabby looking RV on the outside has my husband's ashes, and 28-year marriage. And when I'm inside, he's not dead. I can't drive it because it has starting problems and probably brake problems and some roof leakage, and just like any house, right? And here's the deal, though. I've written a book years ago, more than one book. One is more political than the other, but the one book I'm talking about is Nomadic Proud, and it's essays about. Once I started experiencing it here, we lived here 17 years in a school bus. So once I started experiencing it, I started studying Constitution and law, because they go hand in hand, and the essays, and I have an academic paper that's nearly 2,000 pages long that I got accepted at academia as an independent researcher.
Wow.
And it's about the hate speech towards nomadic people. And it was just comments that were left in mainstream articles, neutral articles, but extreme hatred inside the comment boxes. And if these were about gay people or black people or Japanese Americans, they'd cut that out. But because it's about gypsies or nomadic or whatever term you want to put it, homeless, RV homeless, there's vehicularly housed, there's just so many labels. It's really bad, you know. So I've had that out for about 3 years, and it's like my little pride and joy, you know. And I have another one, a paper on there that's 633 years of anti-gypsy laws and acts that's come from Elizabethan England when it was legal to just kill them on sight, or should I say us. So, and of course, the very last law I put in this paper that I published 3 years ago is the oversized vehicles, because they all fit the same pattern. Once you take away the murder, once you take away the murder and the stealing of the property, it does become the same thing. So I got a real litigious nature, not because I want to, just because I've my other book is about that. Real political history here with the town, you know.
You've been in San Francisco for a long time.
Yeah, I kept my kids from the in a school bus when CPS lawyers were run by Kamala Harris back in the day when Willie Brown was still the mayor. Fire department's union had a little party with our mail. They put us on TV in our school bus, which blew up in 1997. Okay. It's a long time. When we sued them successfully, only piece of paper ever brought against firefighters union, mail theft, ruined my life, because they called in, the union called in CPS, the school bus. The whole thing just got richer and richer and richer. The other book is about 44 lies that I proved by CPS. So, fast forward. Okay. When Adult Protective Services shows up at my door the other day.
Okay.
As soon as, they show up, and here comes. Now it's already gone up the food chain at Episcopal Services, all the way up to John Warner, who's the executive director of. Okay, he shows up at the same time as she's in my door, in my living room, right, talking to me, and I'm very alarmed because of the breast cancer, the delayed treatment. It's in my neck. I've got lumps, all kind of stuff going on. The burn healed beautifully, though. Like I spilled some boiling water on it about 2 weeks ago, and I was really worried. But it really, you know, I do a little herbal stuff, so you know. But anyway, so I took that as a real hardball kind of thing to do for him to call Adult Protective Services. Okay.
It was John who called them?
Yes, she said it as soon as I opened the door. Very nice, Sarah Bunting, very nice lady, super nice. She's the one that called the hoarding guy to bring my mattress out today. So, you know, and I'm emailing her. She's helping me work through my insurance issues. But he shows up, and at the same time as she's here, she yells, "Hi, John," as I'm coming outside. So I kind of felt like they arrived together, you know. But I'm that way. I'm politically natured, so I'm that way. That's the reason I told you that other stuff first. Because I fought CPS for 3 years, never lost the children in a school bus in this town. In the 90s, okay, in the day. Okay, so I know my shit, in other words. So he's here to go take my paperwork to DMV, and did. This actually, a piece of progress has been made. This is in my name.
Oh, we love a little sparkle here and there, right?
Don't we?
Yes.
A little confetti, right? That's how I took it too. But because I'm so political in this town, I completely recognized, okay, here's what come next. He goes, gets my DMV. Miss Bunting, nice as can be, leaves, tells me out her mouth, there's no issues, there's nothing I can force you to do, which of course said she arrived with intent of some kind. That's okay, it's true. I am upset. But he goes to the DMV, and then he sends me an email, and then it drops off as of October 20th. Not a word. He tells me not a word about the mechanic, not a word, tells me just go get it smogged. The RV park up, we've had the paperwork in. Trina has been a wonder. When the papers have been needed to be delivered, she's come within half an hour and gotten them. So we had all the papers in as of August.
Papers in where?
Creekside and Mendocino is an RV park.
Okay.
Problem is now, for me, is that it's snowing up there. And by the time I'm getting to surgery and getting to the radiation and having to drive, see, when this started in April, this was okay to put in place because I'd be moving to my health care, and I'm not a great driver. This would be up there in the RV park, the car would be fixed, and I'd even have AAA, and I'd be going back and forth for the radiation and all the other crap. In Martinez, not even down here. Okay, because that's where my health care started out of. Trying to get to my point, it's just dropped off. like it's just gone. And so the last thing that was said to me was, what do you think about moving out to Candlestick Park?
Who suggested that?
It's John.
Okay.
Have you heard about it? I wishy-washed, I'll admit, but when we moved out of San Francisco, and when these signs came up in 2013, me and my husband moved out of San Francisco to Antioch and rented a place for 5 years on private property. Paid rent, the whole thing. We did not realize that it was half a mile from a Superfund site. World War II made minesweepers, leaking all 24 different Prop 64 chemicals. So I have a litigation in Martinez against the landlord, and I know a lot about environmental damage. And that's why my muscles are in such bad shape. Don't know about the cancer. My husband just died of cancer. 5 other people on the property have died with cancer in the 5 years I lived there. One guy became paralyzed. So my point being, I cannot see myself with my exposure already to environmental issues that I know I have, that I've been going to the doctor, that got SSI because of them. I can't see myself going to Hunter's Point. The waterway is right there. I know so much now about fugitive dust, about how that shit moves. I know all about the lawsuit the police have out there with the SWAT team on that particular property. And when I Google mapped it, I just no, because I'm okay. I'm okay right now. I know it's there. I know the cancer's there. I can live with that. But I can't put myself in that. I do a lot to get stable, but I'm not going to move up into snow away from my children. I have 2 kids that live right here in the Bay Area. I can't move away from them when it's up in the snow, and I can't expect them to go back and forth in the snow. It's what it is. Like, we could do the health care when it was summertime, and the dying part, I can do that. Like, I'm not looking for anything that's extraordinary. Mechanic, a little, you know. But at this point, I can't make moves that are going to make me more vulnerable than I already am. Okay, and I feel like, but this is the deal. After I talked to Miss Bunting, she went back to the office. She sent me an email that John wants her to assign me a permanent protective service worker. And no one's talking to me about the mechanic anymore. No one's talking to me about moving anywhere anymore. No one is talking to me. So when Trina showed up today and it was a friendly face, I just kind of melted. Like I'm not.
Because you're holding yourself like
yes,
this.
I'm.
Somebody say it comes and it's like release.
Right, and all these people here are seeing me as something I'm not, or maybe I am. I'm not saying that because of the books and the litigation and the, and I do understand how this law against the RV people is structurally incorrect under the Constitution, and I'm capable of writing it, but I just don't have my husband. Okay, but that's what it is. That's what it is. I just don't have my husband, and I feel really threatened by what I see gathering here, and I feel.
In what way?
Oh, not anything physically at all. If anything, they're very kind to me. They run off louder people. Like they are very conscious of the cancer. They're like, they don't let other homeless people knock on my door at all.
Okay.
Yeah, no, but I mean threatened by the other side. Like
the attention being.
I lived here 17 years in a school bus, so that was before there was Department of Homelessness, before anything, and I lost the school bus behind. They took it. In my book is a book of an essay called Half-Life of Fear, and it's what it was like to have small children and have your home of 10 years just swooped out from under you by SFMTA. So I've got feelings and understanding of, and they're having a party, and I'm not. Okay. Like whatever I'm going to do, like that black triangle in the window means something to me. Like people have died to be nomadic. Okay, like people, this is not, oh, look at the view. This is life and death, and I'm not pegging it on department or John or ECS, or I'm not. It's about the structural inequity. It's so simple. Just parks. Just give people parks. I've said it. When I had the litigation went in, the reason I started getting
the street sweeper store. See all that trash? He drove right over that. It looks like a dead seagull. Oh my god. What does the street sweeper do?
Sweep the street.
That's not swept. That's like,
We'll be better off getting a push broom.
yeah. Why don't you, like, instead of paying that street sweeper, give all these homeless people, like, some of the money that you don't pay him, they sweep it right up for you.
Because they don't even do a good job.
They do actually.
Yeah.
No, my guys down here, they come and sweep. If you look, they've swept out, raked. They rake it. No, they come down and rake it, and when they're up in the middle of the night, I'll hear them out there tick 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 tick. Because I've really been working with them. Like I've really been working with the gardeners and you know, and it's not going well. Like in my head, it's not going well right now. Okay, like I'm been at this a while. And I'm good in my house, and I know, but I know what's going to happen. I know the police are going to come, and I know, like I'm looking at it, and I'm clairvoyant, and I can see into the future, and I can see when it's going to happen. I can see what the police are going to say. I'm going to see, and it's making me mental. Like I can't handle it anymore, and I don't know what to do. When I saw you, I just melted. I just. You know, it was just seeing a friendly face, and I just.
In the cool part about it, we were just coming over here just to check, and then I'm like,
Oh yeah, no, and it's. Look at it. It's not. It's. And they really.
Like some sort of party where everybody's camping out.
Exactly.
Grilling. I bet the grill's gonna come soon.
The thing is that I'm dying and I'm waiting on services, and I'm not in the mood for this.
Sorry about that. That explains why there was so much parking.
oh,
I didn't get a ticket. I think they already came and went, but I moved it anyways.
Yeah.
Put the roadway in, right?
I just parked on the
the
opposite side of the street.
Okay. I'm glad I was looking.
Yeah, me too.
Opposite side, not on Friday.
You know what? I realized I didn't even look, but usually they do alternate sides.
Not around here. But I can check for you.
Thank you, Matt. I mean, the street cleaner already went down this side, so I think it's probably okay. So maybe they're going to come back and.
Who knows?
No, it looks good at this point. Once they come, when they've gone, they're
But they
done.
went down one side. Did they double back and go up the other? Okay. My apologies.
No.
Little details.
Yeah, I'm just blabbing on. I'm just trying to give
you're creating a good context for me.
Yeah, I'm trying to trying to show how in court I know what I'm talking about, but this is not a go to court situation.
Right.
Because the RV's now in my name.
Right.
And it's progress. I understand bureaucracy. But at the same time, I don't like it when they start talking skilled nursing care. One of the things they said that really bothered me was, what if I come here in a couple of weeks to check on you and you're so sick I have to put you in the hospital because I'm a mandated worker. And with my prior history with CPS in this town and the book about 40 lies and all that other stuff, I immediately got a little PTSD, right? So, you know, I'm not losing this RV. Like, if I have to stick it somewhere that I can't stand to live, like Candlestick, I'll do that to save it.
But this is your home.
Okay, I will not draw a line at this RV. Like
I
this
wonder.
is.
Thank you.
Yeah, but this situation out here is turning into a 60s vigil or something. I don't know any other word to call it. And I'm not a real let me put it this way. I'm a real lone wolf. Okay? I'm a very private person. My husband and I spend all our time together, and I miss him so much. And I am not a people person. Like I'm yeah, but they're kind to me. Don't get me wrong. Like the problem is coming. That's what we were saying.
Like it. Yeah,
now, when you walked off, yeah, they look out for me, but they've got this folk hero shit going, and I'm not buying it.
Okay.
Because there's a lot of drugs and a lot of crap and there's a lot of broken people out here, and the cure for it is parks, just parks where they can be.
And I think we are all in agreement on that.
Yeah,
and if only systems would keep up with, you know.
Okay, there's ways to make that happen in a court case that I'm ready to do that, but at the same time I have to I can't sit here much longer needing a mechanic, and I don't. I belong to this thing called Thousand Trails. Okay, that's what this whole thing started with. Okay, when I went to court, I just told the judge I just want the next level of Thousand Trails. It's a camping membership for RV people. Older RVs are welcome. I went and did 4 of the campgrounds. There's 7 in the Sacramento area, Bay Area. 4 days each time. When you move to the next level, which is a $700 deposit, and you pay $150 a month, still in my budget to live, you get 21 days to camp, and then you get showers, you get security people in little carts come around. They got gates, they got little shops, bathroom, showers, water, hookup, electric, the whole thing, right? Right, exactly. You'd think, right? And I'm still at the lowest level, and each one is within an 80 to 100 mile drive of each other. Feasible. When you're in the elite version too, your family can come. Say that when I do eventually die, they can rent cabins there. They can camp there. They can get free weeks if it's the elite level package. So it has built in, and it's CRV life. Like there's like you walk out and you see this and you're like, oh my God, the cops are going to come. No, there you walk out and go, you don't even see it. It's because you're in your own community, and I can't emphasize that enough. Like that.
And so that's what's happening right now. You come out here, and do you think cops are going to come?
Yes, because I've lived this for so long, and I don't have my husband to start and drive. I can drive. I can drive this, but I haven't driven in a long time, and I've just got my license after 20 years, and the lady practically gave it to me. I mean, I was so nervous, and she just like, here, you're free. I was with it, yeah. So but I'm not like. Yeah, I'm not going to lose the momentum I've gained in court, because I went and showed the judge how an actual sweep happens with video, and I went bam right to court. Okay, now this is how the services came to me. So this shows that I'm really not a 5150. I'm in no danger to myself. It'll show you what I'm about. Okay, so this lawsuit. The day before Thanksgiving weekend, I went straight to court for asking for right before the pandemic, the whole thing. And I wanted them to take CDC orders and make them. I overreached. I asked for all of San Francisco. That was my fuck up. If I'd have asked just for this one encampment, I think I might have got it. Didn't get it because of the Hastings Law Center. That's what threw me. And I'm over there. I'm on the phone in my car. I mean, on the Zoom in my car. And the judge is like so thrilled to be having court in my car. And I got all these homeless people listening and yay and rah and all this stuff. And oh, it was wild. Yeah, it was when we were over in Balboa. And I'm telling the judge, but Your Honor, federal state law supersedes federal. You can do this. So he's like, no, I can't do this.
Like a scene from a Hollywood
yes,
movie
it was. That's where the folk hero shit comes from. Okay, so I'm not gonna lie about that. Now here's where the services came from, though. Come April, I'm already down on my hunger strike, down on 113-day hunger strike from when I got the RV to here, to them calling me, Episcopal Services. I had on April 13th, I had a case management, pre-trial case management conference with a deputy city attorney in charge of this litigation. I was my usual outrageous self and told him if London Breed would listen to me, she could win a Nobel Prize for solving homelessness. She just needed to hire me as a consultant and just drop all this shit. And I presented the 3 pieces of law, not lawsuits or citations, but actual laws that were on signs on my RV up until recently. I've been a little tamer over here. The UNRWA Act, the Intimidation of Occupations, Fair Housing, and so on and so forth, a couple others. The very next day, they called me. After rejecting me in January for the Thousand Trails and the repairs, they called me the very next day, and they say they can do it.
Okay.
So that tells me my laws are dead on.
Okay.
Here's the deal. They haven't done it. It's been 6 months. Okay, and then they brought in Adult Protective Services and went and paid for the RV. But all silence, we've gone radio silence.
Except for the DMV thing.
Except for the DMV thing.
So there's some movement, but not,
it's like the carrot and the stick, but I don't know I don't even think it's that. I think that it has something to do with the UNRWA Act is a wonderful thing here in California, and it requires all public accommodations to be given even to unpopular groups. So my argument to the deputy city attorney is that this group that I'm one of is not receiving any services. Okay, and that's what's happening. Like they don't want to do it. Like they want to shove me over there in Candlestick, and I just want to get repaired. I want to figure out how to drive and go back to Thousand Trails, with or without. I don't even care
So
if it's.
that's the greater goal.
No, that is like at this. They're all about me now going to get treatment and breast surgery. Well, it was a mastectomy. It's been 6 months. My chances have really gone incredibly higher. Now it's moving and doing things, and I just want a death with dignity. Okay, that's where I'm at. Like, and I'm not.
And your kids know that.
Yes, my kids know that, and if they could do this for me, they would. It's just beyond all our budgets. They're all roommate situations.
Right.
They're all struggling with
Where
child
do
support.
they live?
One is in Richmond, city of Richmond, and one is in Oakland.
Okay.
And I have other children, but we're not in communication. But these two come and see me on my birthday, and they're here for me emotionally. So I do have that. To me, going back to the Thousand Trails at the higher level gives me, it gives me the facilities necessary for the lifestyle. And at the higher level, it's still in my budget, even at 100, because I get 974 in my SSI. So 150 is still reasonable, even with gas and so forth.
It's just getting to that point.
Right, but getting it to where it's drivable, smogged, and I can get out of here. Like it's literally, and it's just like. And I've written to a higher up the appeal over at a Department of Homelessness, trying to, like, what have I done wrong? Tell me how to fix it. Nothing. It's radio.
So this kind of brings us up to today around, you have a plan that is
Very much.
And then you've activated systems to assist you with that plan.
Yes.
They, like so many other things, are not moving at the pace or quality that we would like.
Right.
But that they are theoretically in motion.
Exactly, and that I put a lot of hope in that, and that's why all my comrades here are wrong to try to push me to go to court. Because what am I going to say?
Right.
It's going too slow. I'm not going to say that. I feel fortunate to even be here talking to you. I mean, I feel considerably calmer having laid out the bigger, broader. I appreciate your time to come down here. I really am not suicidal in the sense that I'm going to go off and do something. I love my kids. I'm an extreme Christian. I read the Bible. I want to see my husband. I'm not, but this is triggering me so bad, this situation, because
of what it's maybe a harbinger of.
It is going to be. These people's business model won't sustain it. And historically, this stretch right here, everyone else tells me no one parks here. So me coming here has made it open for other people.
A leader.
No, I'm not. This is not, because this isn't the way you live. This is not. It's moving. It's moving. It's parking somewhere. It's going somewhere. It's in there. That's why the Thousand Trails is like a comfort station.
The Thousand Trails out.
And it's really, and I went and did by tent camping when I was just in my SUV. The RV was in storage up until the first snowstorm up in the mountains, and then that's when I had it brought down by AAA and started a hunger strike. This was parked further down the road. The neighbors would come out screaming and yelling and shaking fists. It was a lynch mob. As close as San Francisco could get to a lynch mob, it was a lynch mob. It was a very liberal lynch mob, but it felt lynchable.
Well, it doesn't sound particularly liberal, but
so it's had some pretty intense moments, but I'm not like. I wish I could show you the inside, because it really is pretty. Except for it's turned.
They'll let me know and I'll come back around.
Yeah, but I have great ideas for. I'm literally understanding more than any person you've ever met, both sides of the picture. Like, I get, and I also understand the hostility to what they call you guys, the homelessness industry. Okay, but that's because they don't understand the mountain you're looking at. Right, like they're one little ledge right there.
They feel targeted,
Yeah.
And understandably.
Yeah, and it is to some extent, but public. I've spent 2 decades now studying public faith, like literally by law, and they don't have near as much of it as they think they do. Okay. So by the grace of God, there we go.
So, you made it very clear that you're not suicidal, that it couldn't happen because of your beliefs and your family.
No, I am just strung to the point of this waiting game that's going on, and I'm not. Look, my history with this town, like Miss Bunting said, your case is really political. I mean, it's really political. Like it's super. It's horrifically political. It's so. You're the first person I'm telling this to because you're literally a friendly face. I haven't even said this to Trina. When I wrote the book in 2016, I had no idea Kamala Harris was going to run for president. I had lived with the history of her climbing to the district attorney. When I knew her in 1999, she was the head of the CPS attorneys. Okay, she led one of 3 cases against me, 3 trials that I won because I kept the kids. The first 2 were by the daughter of Dianne Feinstein. Okay, mail theft was over here that I proved and got my litigation settled over there with the fire department. All the CPS stuff. So here comes the Trump world and the QAnons and all that crazy stuff. And I have a book that on Amazon as we speak, Collected Letters from the Abyss, 678 pages proving by side-by-side evidence that CPS lied their asses off, and Kamala and Bunch didn't give a rat's ass about it, and just, Well, this is the interesting part, okay? I saw it right away what was going to happen to me. I was going to become the whore for the QAnon crowd. I used to be a Republican until the minute they nominated Trump from Texas, Louisiana, so I'm from the South, so I'm family's right wing. As soon as I saw what was going to happen, I went and registered to run for president. And I built a website, 46president.org, that shows a truly ambitious Republican woman, a conservative, what she would do, what a real woman, how I would take it over. Like, some of my ideas are, it's only about 6,000 words. Okay, now on Amazon, my book climbed. I only sold about 72 copies. But right before the election, I was neck and neck for looking. Apparently Amazon uses an algorithm of just eyeballs. Because I'm taking screenshots of me and my husband's picture next to the Obamas, next to Kamala, and I'm going, oh shit. Wow. I got 2 or 3 little nibbles. Google asked me for a photograph release, for put with the, So I have one blog that I write about all this and it worked. They left me alone.
Okay.
Because we know how men are not going to take a really ambitious woman, right?
Yep.
Not going to happen. So I did the same thing. I re-registered as soon as, I didn't even know she was going to win or not. 11 o'clock on the 3rd, on the election day, I re-registered to run for president. So you're literally talking to a homeless, nonpartisan, registered, 2-time registered presidential candidate.
I'm honored.
Because thank you. I have no intention of backing down or letting anyone lead me into foolishness.
Okay.
And I'm not jumping funny. My husband's spirit is in me so strong, and he's such a smart man. That's how we kept our kids and stayed in the bus. But this shit's got to stop.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was at a meeting the other night, Homeless Coalition. Don't think a whole lot about them. I'm going to tell you the truth. I think they're kind of...
They are an important thing.
Okay, they are, but I'm not a real fan. Okay,
right.
Let's put it that way. Okay,
Right.
but I'm not a negative
I
either.
think just systemically, a little representation and all.
Of course, no, and I'm really proud of some of the recent litigation. Can't tow the occupied trailers. They're going to go around that, but whatever. So I'm at a meeting over here for the RV people that are by the university, right? And I'm listening to it, and 3 or 4 of us went. And I made the mistake of standing up and saying, we don't need any more of these Band-Aids. We need a revolution. Mm-hmm. And they translated it into Spanish. And boy, it sounded a whole lot different when it rolled off that tongue in Spanish, right? And about 30 of them stood up and started cheering. And I sat down. I was like, told my friends, y'all got to leave me. Now we got to go. We're not doing this shit. This is not how this goes down. So, believe it or not, I know this is hard to understand, but I'm really on y'all's side. I'm on your side.
I believe that.
I don't feel like when I come across in court and with the city of people, I've put up with this a long time. There's CPS litigation that says with their papers full of lies they filed against my family in 1999. Due to your family's nomadic propensities, we have to do this.
Interesting.
Yeah, so that's what the whole book is about. The whole book is proving that I'm not the liar. They're the, da 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 da. Because it's politics.
And I don't see asking for accountability as necessarily adversarial. It plays out that way.
I have to be like super careful. Like I have some other stuff going on, and like when they were trying to recall Newsom, I couldn't file on time that I wanted to do when my husband died at the FEMA camp in Sacramento. I wanted to do something with that, and I wouldn't go into it because it would have come across as me getting in the middle of that hate Newsom thing, and I refused to play politics like that. That's how good a politician I am. Right? So I scare myself. I don't want to. That's what made me just. I'm not suicidal. Reason I told you, you're literally the only official person who knows that. Like, and there are websites, but they're kind of hidden, and I don't. I don't have like a real. I even have a free copy of the book. That you can look at a PDF version of it. Yeah. I'll give Trina your email for me, and I'll send you a copy of it. You can see and it's pictures of our family and stuff. So I'm not insane. I'm not mental. I'm so stressed.
That's what I'm saying.
I'm so stressed.
I know also based on everything you've told me, where using the word suicide earlier today was really a way to express.
I was wrong. I shouldn't have said that. I apologize, Trina. I should have put that on her. I took her whole day off.
Well, you know what?
No, I took your whole day's Trina. I apologize for using the word suicide. I should not have done that. We've got a better friendship than you to hear that.
Yeah.
Right? I apologize. I should not have used that word. All right. Okay, so we're good. All right, but I want to.
The plus side is I finally got to meet you because I've tried many times with these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I told her a little more about myself than I probably should have, but yeah.
Well, she's a licensed therapist, so
there
just
you
got
go.
it out
Yeah, you know how that goes.
Therapist ways.
That was good that you were able to talk to her and you were comfortable talking to her. I just needed.
I need people to understand. This is like coming to a boiling point with the law, not me personally. Us, look. I understand. I think it's remarkable. I've even made this much progress. Okay, I pick at her all the time that this. Yeah, she's laughing. November 16th, it started. I'm sitting in my little car over there, and I'm going, look, this is what I need. I need my RV brought down and some DMV and repairs. And she just kind of laughed and went, oh no, we don't do that. And it was that. And she was not mean-spirited. It was just reality. That's what did all this. That literally, it's that laugh and that, and I'm like, So here we are, and and see, there they are too, though. They're seeing it, and they're not. I don't know how this is going to work out.
Well, and that's where, the stress and overwhelm comes in waves, doesn't it? And right now, we're have a little equilibrium here, and there will be more moments of stress, and so I really want to work with you on how we can, help you basically ride those waves, because this is, inherently just the situation in the city.
It's time for a change. Okay, and there's a flashpoint happening, and those things never work out. Okay, if you see any of the things like in Los Angeles, they arrested 158 people over sweeping a big homeless encampment in the park. And people get their stuff towed, children, dogs get taken. I mean, lives get more wrecked than they are. So what these people see in me is an awareness that they don't have. Okay, and I'm not hurting anybody. I'm not going to be the flashpoint.
I guess
so.
One question I would ask you. You were on your stuff, there's no question of that, far and wide. I'm wondering, what about taking care of you?
Marijuana.
Okay, all right.
That's it, just marijuana.
Marijuana, and how does that help? It brings the anxiety down?
I write. It helps me. It helps me write. That's my thing is writing. And we actually came from Louisiana to California in 1996 because they legalized marijuana. Because it's just me. It's just I'm about marijuana. That's
Okay.
the whole CPS thing was based on me being a marijuana smoker in front of my children. And I had the very first letter from UCSF Department of Neurology, and they ignored it completely.
And here we are now. With, marijuana, you can buy it at a corner store if you're.
Yeah, get it delivered. Yeah. I was there when they closed the main club Peron's down. I was there when the cops came.
The one down on Market.
The one down on Market. Yeah, we were there when they finally came. We protested in front of it and passed out joints, and it's been, and so for the city to have come at me like that, Kamala Harris. Like that with the marijuana thing is just ludicrous, right? But my husband taught me something. He said, let it be in the rearview mirror. Just keep going where you're going with all the other writing and the things that you want to say about this, the gypsy lifestyle, and let the political shit just be rearview mirror. And it helped. It really, like as a psychologist, you know what I'm talking about.
Social worker,
yes, but you know what I'm saying. Well, you know what I'm saying. A therapist.
I do.
Therapist.
I don't want to put myself out.
Well, no, I mean the words, but you know what I'm saying. With a training that way, you know that's important is to be able to put something like that. Like that's.
And sometimes easier than others, or I should say, sometimes less difficult than others.
Yeah.
It's always kind of hard.
Yeah. So right now, I'm having a really hard time keeping that back there.
Exactly.
Because I'm very aware that Trump is going to run again. No, he is.
I know.
He is.
I know.
Take something. Do you have something? Do you need some smelling salts? Okay. As a former Republican, I'm here to tell you he is going to run again.
I know.
So that makes me intricately valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Because there's a lot of Republicans out there that would love some fresh blood.
And so that brings me back around to taking care of you.
I need a mechanic. I need someone. I've gone through 3 of them that have been signed up for the city to pay, and it just doesn't happen, and they flake off and go and do their thing.
I'm curious about that because after these guys reconnected with you recently, I did give a call to John Warner just to find out where things were, and he said they were trying to connect you with a mechanic that the city could fund. And so I know one concern was like getting your car to the mechanic or getting the RV to the mechanic.
Yeah. That's why I'm not saying no to Candlestick Park. I'm not. I just can't stay out there because of the environmental. Like I have muscle weak when I go to stand up when we leave. It'll be really hard. Like the muscles they're falling off the ligaments, and there's like a thing happening. Barium causes it. So when I go back out there, like say I go out there to get the repairs done or to get it, that would be sensible.
Okay.
Like that would be remarkable. Like that would be how a sensible person would do things. But this no silence or no telling me or no, like I don't care who the mechanic is. It's not that much. There are stuff I don't know at this point. I've had different people, homeless people work on it. I've had other people. I've had this, and I'm not. I could talk to you about the Constitution all day long, but I can't tell you why I have to spray starter fluid in there to make it start. And it'll run fine after that, but that's not,
it's not sustainable.
Yeah, like I just need to go.
So it sounds like the next step is, getting the vehicle.
I'm a gypsy, and this is very painful for me to be stuck a year now without being able to run. Like I'm literally an ethnic Scottish traveler. I'm an ethnic nomad. Like it's DNA stuff. It's in the blood, and I stand on it. So this is torturous. That's what caused me to be over dramatic with you, Trina. I'm sorry, but it's this right here. Like I know what's going to happen.
Right.
And I'm going to be swept up in it, and I'm not. I know.
You also know the process. In fact, as I recall, you held the city accountable for not adhering to the process. So.
Okay. Yeah. Well, that's actually how the so the trigger of Prop C and the 10th, because I was in a tent at the time. The Prop C requires me to have homeward bound services, and I am trying to get back to the Sacramento Valley with the 1,000 trails, and that was what the judge went. Oh, okay. That's understandable.
But then there was the thing that I was thinking about also was when there wasn't adequate posting.
Oh, that was really important. Well, see, and the judge, he was so impressed. 11 minutes he eat ass on the city attorney. He said, let me hear one more story. And then I started noticing on Twitter, they're posting notices, they're doing it. Like they're on, and everybody out here was like, "Oh, you see Ramona? You see Ramona? Go back to court. Go back to court." There's nothing to go to court on.
And the reality is, they can and will post notices.
Until we get parks, it's not going to change.
Exactly.
And I'm not talking no safe camping, safe park. What are they?
Straight up parks like the ones you're describing.
Yeah, like the Thousand Trails is a wonderful thing. But there's so many travelers. There's so many kids that go through hate. If they had a $5-6 a night campsite where the other hippies were, bam.
Agreed. I couldn't agree more.
And I mean, then you could really tell who the hardcore ones are, and then you could tell who the gypsies were that just needed to get some help to get out of. That's the category I'm in. Gypsy who needs help getting out of town.
Using marijuana as an example, that the right ideas, the law tails far behind. But with people like you and other advocates,
that's the thing is that we're not. They're starting to go in a direction, but like the thing that went down in LA with the Skid Row, I knew instantly when the judge made the ruling about it being racial inequity. They're not gonna do nothing. They're gonna, and on appeals, I'm good on appeal. Like maybe not good like writing it or doing it. I do it, but I can see when things are going to work and not work, and it's not viable. It's just simply campground. It's just simply location. And you're in this California, you may as well fight for water. We'd be easier getting water rights than we were to get campground.
So I'm wondering also about, so you mentioned, and I understand the kind of anxiety, the immediate kind of stress response, that they were going to assign you a caseworker with APS. And so whenever, one hears you're getting a worker from APS or CPS, and especially given your history.
That's why I told you my history.
Yeah.
That's why I told you my history, so you could understand I had legitimate reasons to feel that way, but not because of John.
Right.
But I do feel like it's a hardball move. I don't understand it.
Though I do wonder, and bear with me, because, your experiences totally contextualize your response, and you're not alone in that.
Yeah, to say the least.
I wonder if they're assigning you a caseworker, whether that person could be an additional advocate for you.
I'm not negatory about anything.
Because they're
I'm not negative about
you to do anything,
no.
but they're saying this woman needs support.
Right. I'm not taking anything that I'm not taking anything harshly. Mm-hmm. It's just that it's kind of ironic.
Yes.
Okay, let's just leave it at that, and we don't have to go anywhere else with it. And it could be at play. The whole Kamala Harris thing could be at play, because I went and looked at the staff at Episcopal Community Services, and the woman in charge of housing, which has to be a pretty big job, she was on the team for Kamala Harris for vice president. And I spent, before my husband died, I actually attribute the reason she flattened out her primary numbers. I was on Twitter hitting it. I was hitting it. Every black woman wanted to hear anything about CPS taking babies and presidential. How can you do this? And,
really quick.
Yeah, so there could be something like that going on.
It's getting cold over here.
It was really warm.
Thank you so much for taking your time like this. I really know I just bumped your whole day into something else.
We're at work.
It just.
And it's a Friday. It's really a light day for us.
I just feel like this is going to go down so bad down here that I don't know how to. And I'm not.
Well, by more support.
I don't know. I just want to get up and drive my truck. I don't know how yet, and I just want to cry to even say it. But I know His Spirit's in me, and I know He can help me drive. Once I get it running, and I just want to go.
You know what? Even if your body's not working, the most important part is the brain. And you'll figure it out.
I didn't because it's become so like bureaucratic at this point. I feel like I should just stick to my guns. I feel like I should just I'm not trying to make it out to be any one person like John personally, but there's something going on. This is ludicrous. Like how many times? Yeah, they were so hot for those rental papers, the W-9 and everything. You were out here on time, man. Right? And that's like 3 months now. I mean, that's like I could have had the chemo, the surgery, the radiation. I could already be through it, have been done with it, and be over it. But now I don't even, honestly, like I don't even want to do it. Like I just don't see the point anymore. Like I just, it's already moved up, and I got my neck all lumpy out and shit. And I just don't see the point now. Like I want to be at peace, and I just want to go. I want to be able to drive my truck to a campground, the Thousand Trail, and I don't want to go up to Mendocino because it's snowing. Like, and I'm not going to have anybody there, and I'm not, and so I don't know. Like I'm there's that feeling again. I'm just not going to sink into it. It just seems hopeless. It just seems like it's just stupid. It's just stupid. It just feels hopeless. So.
Reground myself.
Hey man, the shit I've told you, I don't blame you. I don't blame you.
Really, I thank you for being so open with me.
Yeah, it's I think it's the 46th president or .org or so. I'll have to give. Yeah, that's Randy and Mitzi are here. That's that, Randy and Mitzi. Yeah, I told them I was feeling a little rough too, so they came to see me. I'm just I don't know what's gonna. I just feel hopeless when I think of, and it's so simple. If I were in the South, if I were in the South, I would pull in the middle of town and put a sticker on my hunger strike sticker on my RV. Within 20 minutes, I'd have every blue-haired lady wanting to know who pissed me off, and they'd have their uncles and brothers out there. And this is just a mechanical issue. This is not, a weatherization grant for the roof is, and then we stopped talking. And I just stopped talking to they don't.
So what I do know, even from my own experience, is, and it's not an intent to justify or excuse, that so many plates spinning at once, that sometimes more time, and I don't know anything going on with John. I haven't talked to him.
I'm not trying to get anywhere with anything or anything.
You're trying to get something done here.
But this frightened me. But today was really bad. Like when they showed up, it was intense.
And like we were saying, or like I was saying, these waves of fear and stress. There's another wave out there. We know that.
Yeah,
and
it is.
And I'm just wondering how we can support you while you continue to, try to activate systems to get you where you need to be. How we can take care of you so to reduce those feelings of overwhelm, because that is so.
It's there.
It's paralyzing at times, right?
It makes me feel like I can't drive the truck.
Right.
That's the only thing I'm afraid of right now, is that I'm going to get behind the wheel and I'm going to freeze.
Well,
that's my biggest, that right there. If I can get that back as a gypsy, I mean, I hate to overuse the word, but like if I lose the lifestyle, and it isn't even a dying thing, it's just, this is what makes us happy. Like being here is not right.
Right.
Like,
and
I want to.
My guess is that it's kind of like riding a bike.
I hope so.
And so it's like,
I hope so.
Working to help ground you to get you to the point where you can get those pedals going.
That's it. And the process has been so adversarial and so what's the word? Not compassionate. Like it's been a disdain. It's a disdain. And I'm not putting names on nobody. I'm not there for that. I'm not here for that. It's like that for everybody. I'm just verbalizing it. Like I'm just standing for it.
Can I ask, like in the immediate future, meaning like now, let's say it gets too overwhelming around here over the weekend, are you able to relocate the RV just even a few blocks if it just becomes too overwhelming and find a quieter spot?
No, this is the problem. Like it'll start and move, but there's no brake lights. The brakes are kind of creaky, so that's a little worrisome, but it's the broken floor by the kitchen. I'm worried moving it the items will drop and ruin the axle.
Okay.
Like if we've already taken the fridge out, but the other kitchen items, if they drop through the floor as I'm rolling, I'll have
So
nothing.
you're really, it's like you're
I
afraid to-
I can, but
if
there
it
are,
comes to that.
yeah. So getting the mattress out today was a big step, but Marcus couldn't do the kitchen because it's gas lines that need to be cut and different things, and
Are they gonna
put
get
wood.
someone in here to assist with that?
Yeah, it's all in the
I
plan.
mean, this is the part that I see, while again fully acknowledging the fear associated with APS.
No, I'm here. No, I'm
I see another pot of money.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
I'm not saying no to nobody, and I'm a grown woman. I can, but it is,
Yeah.
like when.
And you have to withstand the steps. I gotta grab this. I'm so
Oh,
sorry.
boy, do you go?
Hey, Connie, what's up?
You guys parking in that parking lot.
What's up? Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Okay, well, I can, talk to her a little more about it.
We live in Icebox Canyon. Icebox Canyon, they call it. Oh. Yeah, I love it. So it's beautiful red with big cheese. Up there, they come into our house. Yeah, it's neat. It's really country. It's real neat. I love it. A lot of good country folk out there.
Oh, that's it? Okay.
Pass them all out there. Did you give her something?
Yeah.
If you feel like it is
She's coming real hand. I appreciate it.
credible and imminent for you, probably want to call her, or I will find to come down and pick up.
That's a necessity out here.
And I guess, there's some steps that I don't know if I can. It's great to talk about it with her.
It does.
And if at any point she starts getting really credible, like, that is, and then I would call her right away, and that's
So I can shave that shit off and then all up and
okay,
right.
all right, thanks.
Yeah, I feel pretty good. Where it is. I can take yourself in.
Fortunately, I have to pull out of here.
Well, you've been here a while. Thank you. I really appreciate your
Yeah.
time. I really
My
do.
pleasure, really. And I know you will get through this, and I know at times it feels insurmountable. And both of those things can be true at the same time.
This is so true. This is so true.
It's like that
No, it
classic
is.
dialectic.
Absolutely. I'm sticking it out. I'm sticking it out.
And these guys looking out for you, and at least we know the signs, both literal and figurative, of if something's going to change around here with the city, because the signs are going to go up.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
so nothing's going to happen as long as that hasn't happened. There's the separate part of taking care of yourself when it gets too active out here.
Yeah, it's at that point. It's
Okay.
literally at that point. Like it's. I don't see how the business people aren't just going, because they're not used to this, and it's.
And so it may be that before, like, the city comes in to say, all right, enough, it may be that police are called to address.
That's what that's
Right.
why the PTS started. Just seeing Matt and Trina, I was like, that they triggered me. Like they seemed like the first wave of that. That's why it happened.
Okay.
Like I that's why I felt that way.
Okay.
Like, so
It
that
felt
was
like, oh boy, it's on.
yeah. That's
I
it
get that.
exactly, because I'm very aware of the train of how things function.
But in the event that the police are called because of the activity that's going on here, you're sitting here quietly in your car, and they're not going to bother with you, and they can't make you move. And I know you know that. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Hey,
It's okay.
Connie.
Yeah, but we'll,
Still stating that
like I said, I want to leave the address, and I just came back this week.
I know, that's what they said.
Yeah.
Where have you been?
My mom, she's better. but she needed care after post surgery
Right on.
for like 4 weeks. So, you know.
You know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about. I'm not willing to commit to it until I can really get somewhere to the, and it's just there, and I'm not,
Okay.
I'm just not feeling
Well,
it.
it sounds like we just have to let her be for now.
That saves me when I gotta sit or go somewhere. I have to take
Take
it.
that with you. It's lightweight.
Lightweight, I can handle it. That way I can, when I talk to people. Burr. It is cold. Of course, we're right on the beach here.
Oh, yeah, so duh. Right.
Duh. You know it. See, this road has been shut down for so long. The Great Highway
They just started opening back up.
No, I mean the camp for people camping. So that's
Yeah.
So me being here has literally started something, and that's not what it's going to be acceptable.
Mal hasn't even called me back yet.
Because they're out there doing that.
Busy.
Yeah, they're busy. It was like so many trailers over there, and they can start towing stuff. And,
All right. We really got
Have you contacted Jason or not?
those cheese that put a dent in the hole.
Pretty much, I think that they're pretty much done.
Well, you know what, you can't now. And under these circumstances, you should. So I recommend you give him a call because just to let him know.
My burn did really well.
And
I was all worried about it. It ended up doing really well.
On Friday, but and I will, as soon as I get back on that side, I'll check in with you, and if you want to go have a look for her to follow up, we'll do it. Okay, all right. We were leaving it with taking care of you. So if the police come, it's going to be not an HSOC action or a, all these things, because, they can't come and do it like that. And you are part of the accountability around that. I want to acknowledge that.
Yeah. Well, that's okay. Back to the politics of things. Being part of that accountability for that does not put me in a comfortable position like this.
Agreed.
Right. Okay.
But in the case, what I'm imagining, like you said, the businesses out here are not going to look kindly upon this growing party. So if police do come, my guess would be, I'm hypothesizing.
I know.
It would be to address too loud of a party, too much drug use, violence, blah, blah, blah. And if you're quietly smoking your pot in your RV, keeping to yourself, they're not going to bother with you. It wouldn't be a priority for them.
Okay.
If they saw it and they came down here and then they reported back, well, it's getting messy down there, then we might see the signs of it later. But if these guys go way too far up, like you said, the businesses are probably going to activate systems, and the systems are going to focus on where the problems are. Okay. And thankfully, you're parked distantly enough that you really are clearly distinguished from them.
Yeah, but that's Thank you for your time.
Oh,
I know
welcome.
you guys got to go.
It was a pleasure to meet you, and I know these guys will be checking back, and with your permission, I would also like to check back.
Absolutely. And I'm going to send you my link to my presidential site so you can send it to her. Okay.
That sounds wonderful.
And that way you can, and it's got a bio on there and my really outrageous, enough to scare the QAnon crowd.
That's powerful stuff.
Okay. They never come, and I did have a few sniffs. I did have some people that were all, but at the same time, here I am now doing this thing, and I'm like, oh man, no. But it's coming back to bite me, and I'm not letting anything bite me. That's why I'm so patient. I'm not messing anything up.
And then sometimes we get emotionally blindsided.
Yes.
And
I just saw her, and I just melted. That's what happened.
Yeah.
I appreciate your time. Thank you.
All right, you take good
And I'll
care
send
of
you that
yourself.
link. I'll send you
Okay.
that link because it is interesting reading what a really powerful woman would do.
Yes, it is.
Someone who isn't attached to either one.
Yep.
One of them was take over the not the national forest, but the BML land and build villages, just entire villages and cities like they do in China.
Beautiful.
And we just would take people out on, but like you could go to your bus. I've got to go out to one of the farms. I just can't take it here anymore. Take me to one of the farms.
That's brilliant.
Those kind of ideas, just that kind of stuff. But yeah, the Republicans never ask. Yeah, they don't like that kind of stuff.
All right, Ramona.
It was nice meeting you. It was nice meeting you.
Okay. And we
All right.
will meet again.
All right. I hope
Okay,
so.
yes.
I hope so.
All right.
Right on.
Take
Thank
care.
you. Thank you.
You want to drive back later? Oh, after traffic, yeah. Okay.
I'll be safe. Bye. I don't know what it is about you. You send me somehow. Somehow you just do me. Whenever you come and you're like, what'd I do with my fucking marijuana? Oh shit.